we're going to jump into our first of many conversations on the podcast here. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about something that I saw online the other day. The founder, and I don't have the story pulled up. Bad practice, I know. I'm sorry. I'll be better in the future. I saw this story about the CEO and owner. I don't know if she was the founder of Spanx, the company that provides, like, I don't know exactly what they are, but they're like elastic shorts or bodysuits for women, that sort of, and not just for women, I guess, but bodysuits that sort of hold things into place. She sold her majority stake in the company for $1.2 billion. So she basically cashed out her whatever ownership shares she had, and she gave her employees, and this is where I wish I had the story pulled up, but she gave her employees, she gifted them each $10,000 and two first class tickets anywhere in the world. So she basically, gave everybody in her company, like, a parting gift, basically. I don't think they lost their jobs. I don't think it was like a severance package or anything like that. I think she just said, hey, I cashed out on this. You guys helped me to get to where I am. Yeah. Here's a little gift for you, as I leave, a parting gift. A lot of the comments on that were positive, like, oh, that's really cool, because I think her employees had a very positive response to that. I think she surprised them with it. So it was like, oh, they were all super excited. But there was also, as comments online are, there was a darker side of the comment section where it was like, she got $1.2 billion and all she gave them was because it turned out, if you looked at it, like the most expensive first class ticket anywhere in the world was like $6,000 to $8,000. So it's like at maximum you're probably looking at $30,000 for each person, and they're like, that's not even like a drop in the bucket of how much money she made from that. Like, she could have done like so much more. People, like I said, people on the internet are like,
it's like you can always do more.
Critics, exactly. But I wanted to get your guys' input on that, and also on just like how $1.2 billion is a lot of money. She gave away probably less than a percent of that to her employees, and so like a part of me is like, yeah, I mean, I can. That's a great gesture. That's super awesome. But could she have given them a little more? Like, do you really need $1.1 billion? Like, could you like, so that's the question. Like, how much money do you need? Like, we see all these billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk who have these hundreds of billions of dollars, and they just seem to just continually just earn money. And it's like, when does it stop? What are you ever going to do with that much money? Because you're not giving it away. You're not giving, a bigger chunk of it to charity. So what are you... But they keep making money, right? It's not like they're stopping. It's not like they're retiring. They're continuing to make money. So as three dudes who don't have anywhere near $1 billion, how much money do you need? Like, how much money would you be like, okay, that's enough, I'm just going to, give the rest to charity? Would it ever become that? Would you be like, these billionaires we have now, they're like, I just want to keep making more. And then, again, I don't know what they're saving for, but like, but what would be your cap? So we'll start with the first half of that question. We'll go to Louise first. Is that her gift to her employees? Was that good enough? Would you have expected more?
See, and so you say that, and then there was another, I don't remember if it was Starbucks or it was Burger King. I read a story about an employee who had been there for 20 some odd years, and their manager gave them like a gift card, a Starbucks coffee cup, and then some other stuff that the guy liked. Yeah, for 20 years, right?
Yeah, but not to interrupt you, but Burger King has how many millions of employees worldwide?
Well, and it was the manager too, right? Yeah. So, but it all goes down to like, for me, like, what is your ambition? What is your passion? What are you going to do with it, right? She walked away with $1 billion. What is she going to do with it? What was her ambition? She wanted to help out. She made a product, right? A job accomplished. What's her next step? If she's going to do more or try and expand on that, then yeah, she might need, let's say, 80% of that.
Like you're saying, to invest in something else?
To invest in something else, or to get another project going, or get back, right? But for the employees, like, you got to think about it too, is like, what was their level of involvement? So I think it's a great start. I think it's not 1% of what we should be doing. I think 5-10% of when they cash out is a little bit more understandable and reasonable. Because again, what are you going to do with $1 billion?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point to bring up because maybe she is planning to reinvest it. Maybe, you know, the internet just thinks she's going to hoard it and just go live on the beach somewhere, which honestly is what I would do. But like if you are going to reinvest it into something, maybe you do already have plans about what you're going to put it into. Maybe a big chunk of it is already accounted for. Maybe you have debts you have to pay off.
Exactly.
You know, how much of that are you actually going to take home? Probably a big chunk of it.
Yeah.
But that's a good. Yeah, those are good points. What about you, Matt? What do you think?
So one thing, because I wanted to look this up,
Yeah.
legally you can only gift up to $18,000 to a person a year without the IRS taking money from that.
Okay,
From what you gift.
You hope that was in her mind when she did this. You know.
You hope. You know, she's got that $8,000 margin to
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah.
I think, in all honesty, that's a really great gesture. I mean, that's a house payment down, or that's a car payment down, you know, for at least 2 months, depending, at least a few months, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and maybe it's just me, but like in that, if I was an employee, I was gifted 10 grand and a ticket anywhere, I'm like, damn, all right, I'm feeling pretty happy about that.
You could. I mean, honestly, if you get to keep your job, so
Yeah.
you're still making money. And you say, hey, let's just go take a dope ass trip. We got
Yes.
the airfare taken care of. We can spend the $10K on the trip.
Leave the kids. Who cares about them? I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere dope. Yeah, I think for me, like again, like looking up the gifting law, because like when you said the story, I was like, I think you can only give someone like a few thousand like dollars before the IRS is like, okay, well now we need to tax at you. So 10,000 to and a trip anywhere. Again, as an employee, I'm like, girl, I miss you. If you need me to do anything, please, like, if you need someone to just like work for you again, I'll go. I'll go work with you.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic because I can see both sides of it. And I mean, like you said, there's that gifting law or whatever, but you can, just tax it then. Like, give me
true.
100K, tax it at 50%. That's still 50K, like or whatever. I mean, $100,000 wouldn't be taxed at 50%, but yeah, no, I agree with it. It would depend also like on how many employees she had, like how much is this gonna, I don't want to say hurt you, but how much is this affecting your checkbook? Like, again, a gift is a gift. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Like, she didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, she
could
did
have
not.
just said peace.
Peace. I got my $1.2 billion.
Thank you so much. Here's a pizza party. Like
yes,
here's
a pizza party.
Like she didn't have to do anything, but I think to a certain extent she did have to do something, right? Court of public opinion is incredibly powerful. So if she wouldn't have done anything, she would have, gotten called out in the media, which can lead to other problems. So maybe she did have to do something, and maybe this was the middle ground. Maybe she was like, I can do X, Y, or Z, and I'm going to do Y. I feel like
most of it.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a bad gift. I think it's awesome. I mean, her employees were appreciative of it. It's just the people online who have some sort of problem with it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Could she have done more if she wanted to? Going back to Luis's point, it kind of depends on what she is going to do with the rest of her money. Like,
and then it brought up to like my mind is like residual. Like, so, okay, this year you get that. And then let's say she could have done it for 5 years.
Yeah.
And they're set up for 5 years. But then how much help is it? Because if you're going to get 10K every year, what are you going to do? You're just going to put in the work. If
I got a 10K raise every year, I would be happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm staying with that company for sure. If we get a 10K
sure.
raise every year.
The loyalty's there. So
yeah, you bought my loyalty for sure.
But cool. All right, so part B of that question. How much money, again, speaking as you in your position where you are now, how much money do you need?
Is too much money is what you're asking.
Yeah, how much money would you say you need to
live
be who you want to be? Not even live comfortably. Like, if you want to live beyond your means, let that be the threshold. But like, yeah, how much money do you need?
Are we talking like a year or period? Lifetime?
Yeah. If someone were to gift you a chunk of money, like we're in this scenario, we're the CEO of the company, not the employee getting the gift.
That's a tough one.
I think for me to live like the way I want to, I couldn't see it This sounds like it's gonna sound low, but it's not low. Like, if I had like $100 million, right?
You think that sounds low?
That does. I mean, like, if someone's like, "Oh, I need like $1 billion or I need 500 mil," I don't know.
Can we time out really quick? What to live the way you want to? What do you want to do?
So
I don't want to have to worry about bills. I also want to be able to help out like my family and friends that I really care about.
Sure, yeah.
I've always thought about it because like you guys remember cribs, and like you get these people who have these lavish garages.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want one really dope ass car. I want to be able to like eat the way I want to eat, travel wherever I want to travel. So I feel like lowballing it, like if I had like 100 mil.
Lowball.
Yeah, I know, it sounds so bad to say that because like, man, that's not lowball. No, I understand.
Definitely not lowball.
Because like, but you couldn't do that with $1 million due to inflation.
No, $1 million. No, yeah,
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I think the new millionaires, the 100 millionaires, because they're like, maybe like even like 10 mil would like allow me to be okay. But at some point, like, you got to be real frugal. You got to be real careful with that.
So adding and throwing another wrench into the plans here. So let's say you win $1 billion in the lottery.
Okay.
You take 100 mil of that and you're good, and the rest can go to family and friends and charity.
Well, so what that would turn into is like the pie chart for the give it away to charity is gonna be very small in that part.
It.
No, I mean like. Won $1 billion. I mean, I'm still gonna make sure that I'm okay because I don't want to work.
That's the question. Though. The question is, where are you okay? Where do you say I need this much and the rest? I think. Or does it ever get to that point where you push the money away?
It should.
I think like 500. If it was $1 billion, if I won $1 billion, like 500 mil. I can't see myself needing that much more. To where so 600.
Well, listen. First of all, nobody needs $500 million.
Yeah, nobody needs that much. But I think at that point, like I really 500 mil is probably definitely my tipping point of like what the hell am I doing?
What are you gonna do with $500 million? And again, this is not money that's going to charity. This is just your money.
Your money. I don't gotta work. My friends are taken care of. I'm traveling wherever I want to go. It's Tuesday. I'm going to New Zealand.
He's living in a different area code.
Different area
country
code, time
every day.
Zone, any day of the week.
He's buying every hotel he stays in.
I'm watching Lord of the Rings while in New Zealand, while flying to New Zealand on my private jet.
He's gonna buy the whole cast of Lord of the Rings and have them recreate
to reenact like the first movie. Yeah.
So I guess we have a number for 500 mil.
500.
Okay. Matt is living the lavish life. Matt, I could not spend $500 million in probably 500 lifetimes. Luis.
So mine was a little bit more realistic, but it was up there. I was thinking 200 million.
200 million. What about
realistic?
Your needs?
What about my needs?
So $200 million.
I want to take care of myself. I want to take care of my family, obviously, right? A little bit of travel, not as luxurious as Matt over here, spending a different day everywhere, but.
This is just you. We're not talking about your family. So you specifically.
Me. So
if you won $1 billion, you say, hey, this is mine. The rest I'm giving away to my family. The rest I'm giving away to charity. So what part of that pie do you take?
See, and then it would be a lot less. It would probably be 50 million that I would take, right?
Okay.
Car, house, but
broke ass.
But a lot of it. No. A lot of it too is just. The reason why I'm still in the career path that I have is like I've noticed I can impact a lot more people. I've realized that impact, the being the pioneer, someone laying the way.
Sure.
So I want to prepare myself and get to the point and provide those resources for others, and that's going to be my money that I dip into and I give back. I know it shouldn't be. But
that's the whole point of this, Luis. We're trying to the money. You don't have to be.
So someone else is going to be. Yeah. But I want to be that type of person.
No, I'm saying you
like,
have this $1 billion is still yours. So
yeah.
when you get the itch to give to charity, take it from that other 950 million, like, or whatever you decide. Like, what part of that do you need?
Do I keep? I mean, the cars.
Guys, how much is a luxury? A luxury car is not going to cost you more than $500K.
Well, now it depends on the car. 'Cause I think the most expensive car is like 1.2 mil.
Yeah, but are you going to try to buy the
Absolutely
Guinness
not.
World Record?
No.
of cars.
No,
This
you
car-
probably just
you know,
want. You guys are
do-
probably both thinking of really nice cars that you want, and they're probably closer to 250 to 500 than
So, but
pushing multiple millions. Of
and
dollars.
then a listing in.
But I gotta get a mechanic who can fix the car. I gotta get really good tires.
I don't remember. Like my little sister and I were looking at houses while we were in Miami for our trip. We were looking at the houses right on the beachfront. Like those houses are in the millions.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
Miami.
Yeah, so I'd like a house in Miami. I'd like one in San Diego.
Oh, he wants to be
That's
a
it.
landlord, so he wants to keep the money.
No,
going.
no, because those are gonna be my houses.
I just want to be.
Like,
Live
I want to
lavish
be able
life.
to
He
go
wants
over
to be a
here and I want to go
landowner.
over there. I love the ocean and have a house on the ocean front.
no, I respect that
So-
because that's part of what I would use my money for. But so let's get a final answer from you. Not dipping into your
Not
personal
into
amount
my
to
own.
give to charity because you
I'll
have
split the
charity money.
difference. I will split the difference. I'll say like 100 mil.
So we went up.
Yeah,
No,
You
because
said
I
50
started off at
before.
200
Okay.
and I went down to 50 and now we're splitting the difference so that I can make
What-
sure.
What I'm more curious. What amount do you say, Adonis? That you
What
can
am I-
live
so
off
this
of?
is what I would- this
$1.2
is-
billion dollars.
$1.2 billion. What I would need for myself, I like Luis. I want a house on each coast. I want a house in LA, and I want a house or not a house. You don't get houses in New York. I want a brownstone in New York. I want a penthouse in New York. I want to be in New York City. I want to
Okay.
have a house on East Coast.
You wanna be out in
each
Jersey?
coast. No, I don't want.
Why would you
I want
buy
a really nice.
No,
like
man,
I
I'm
said,
rich. Okay,
I really
okay.
want a really nice penthouse in Manhattan or in Brooklyn, like somewhere like in the city. And I want to on the other side. I want one in LA. But then bear with me here. I want a third one, but somewhere not in one of those big cities. I don't know where, but I would want somewhere where if I just needed to get away from civilization, because I'm a city boy, right? I love being around people.
You do.
And when I say that, I love the option to be around people. I like cities. I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna go live in the woods. So I need to be around metropolises. So I need somewhere where I can get away from that. So I would really want a really nice house in somewhere obscure where I could just go off the grid if I wanted to. So 3 houses, let's say $2 to $4 million each, maybe $2 million for the lower one, and we say, $5 million for each on each coast. Like I don't need the best penthouse in New York. Like I need a nice house. I need a nice brownstone. You can get a nice brownstone in New York for $5 million. You can get a nice house in LA for $5 million. I don't need the best. I'm not trying to have a 50 rooms mansion or anything. Like
Okay.
I just want a nice house.
You want it fireproof though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too soon. And so that's let's add that up. So let's just split the difference like Luis did. Let's say $4 million each place. That's $12 million right there for my houses. Once I have a house, like I'm chilling. Like I would want to maybe put $2 to $3 million into a business, like into some sort of maybe studio that I could use. So I'd probably be good with $20 million. I think.
That's kind of close.
Like maybe 25.
All right.
Like if I'm thinking about it, I'm not gonna live forever. Like
You don't want anything to like a jet,
No,
your
I don't
own
want a
jet or anything.
So where am I going?
Car.
Where am I? I have my house.
To your 5 houses is where you're going.
To my 3 houses, Matt. 3 houses. Like if I'm like
You don't want to travel.
You
pushing
you
it,
driving to
pushing it,
LA?
I'm saying
From New York to Los Angeles. You're
no, but
driving
I don't
there?
need a
No.
private jet. Like I'm fine flying commercial,
You
bro.
got $1.2 billion. You're gonna fly commercial?
Yes, man.
Wow.
I don't need to fly.
Wow.
I don't need my own jet.
Somehow I call bullshit.
Well, what about travel? Like you don't want to go visit the UK or.
Yeah, how much? Where am I staying?
You're gonna go buy the
Buckingham Palace?
castle
Like, what am I-
that they filmed your favorite movie series at?
No, I don't need to buy a castle. No,
I'm just saying.
guess that's
With
very-
$1.2 billion, you can buy a
you
castle.
can, but do you need to?
No, you can buy.
Are you
a
gonna
castle.
do it just because?
I mean, hey, there are some people that do.
Yeah, you can buy a castle for a lot cheaper though.
Let's get those prices down, baby.
So let's say ultimately, I would probably let's kick it up a little bit, just because like I wouldn't. But again, it's just me and my family. Like the rest of the money is gonna go to my family and friends and charity. So it's not like I have to worry about helping out my family, because they're going to be taken care of with the other, like the rest of the $1 billion. So if it's just me, honestly, yeah, I would say like 50 million would probably be more than enough for me.
Okay.
Like taxes, so after taxes, I guess. So what?
Yeah.
100 million before taxes?
Probably.
Yeah. But I could live off of $50 million for the rest of my life easily. Like I would not. Otherwise, I'm just spending money on stuff I don't need. That gets me a movie theater in my house. Like I'm chilling.
You're reaching out to Warner Bros. I need you guys to send me the next release of that film directly to my home theater.
Dolby 3D over there.
Right?
Yeah. No, I'd be fine with 50.
50.
I'd be fine
Okay.
with 50
I mean, hey.
after tax, and that's probably pushing it. That's probably like more than I actually need.
Hey, I was combining me helping you guys with my 500 that I was saying.
Yeah.
I clarified it 50 times.
I know
for
you
man.
did, but I'm like, I still got to make sure that I got a little bit extra to help out my friends and family.
But you gotta know, like Matt games a lot, so
Gaming is
There's
just
not a
expensive.
game you cannot.
you can
I can
So
buy
I- stock
stock into Sony. I can buy stock into...
no, but he's gotta have his gaming desk. So you start that off at $500,000, and then you bump it up to about
I got to make my
20
room
mil.
the Batcave at some point in my life.
Yes, I don't know, man. You guys are just you guys have higher, more luxurious lifestyles than I have in mind for myself.
it's
I guess.
costs. And truthfully, I think it is just like that spending. You get into your own habit. So you either started off saving and you are realistic with what
Yeah.
you're going to spend and how much you're going to need, or that extra income you go and you spend it around.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also you have rainy day money, right? Like put
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit away, but
And you need a chill $1 million for that rainy day fund.
you need a few. Like
I'm
I would say,
scared.
you want to put. I wouldn't need it. So I don't want to get too much into this, but like I would 50 for myself. I'm cutting up the pie, right? 50 for myself for what my needs are. I'm probably tucking 100 mil away that I'm not gonna spend unless I need to. So
It should be never.
So he took
Pushing it
150.
away.
So he's in between you and I.
But again, that's not. I'm not using it unless I need to. I'm not adding that into my expenses.
Oh, okay. So you took 150 mil of the 1.2.
See, and I did that with the 50 that I kept.
Lawyer fees. You never know what's gonna come up.
That's true. You never do. You never
Free.
know.
Or at least for me, it's free.
Amar punches a small child. Next thing you know, you got a whole lawsuit on that.
Exactly. All right.